What's up, guys? I'm EJ, and this is Kendall here, and today we're talking about the prospective Rookie of the Year, Luka Doncic, and what his chances are for the NBA All-Star Game. Now, Kendall, you think that Luka Doncic, in the year he's put together so far, warrants him for an All-Star selection? I do not think so. I don't think that he really has a case for the All-Star Game. Why do you think that Luka should be one of the 12 members from the Western Conference playing this year?
I said before the year that I thought Doncic had an outside chance at making the All-Star game. It was kind of a bold prediction that I had. And he's exceeded every expectation I had for him. I was high on him, very extremely high on him. But, at this point, I would say, I think he's beyond outside chance. I think he's now a firm contender to get an All-Star spot in the Western Conference. What I think helps him is that going in, I consider he was a point guard prospect. I had him on our top 10 point guard video. That's the 10th best point guard in the league. Would have him higher now. I wouldn't have him as a point guard because, look, they're classifying him as a forward. In the West, there are a lot of great guards. Obviously, Westbrook, Steph, Clay, Harden, Lillard. I could go on and on. Fox, Mitchell. It's going to be hard to make Chris Paul. I think you're getting over Chris Paul this year. It would be hard to make it in the Western Conference as a guard. At the forward spot, I think there are a little bit more spots available, and I think there are guys that I think he can get in over. And you're talking about a guy that not only he's putting up the numbers, but he also is doing it on a team that was awful last season that now is competing for a playoff spot in the West. He's one of the most clutch players in the league, and he's 19 years old. He's a rookie.
But that shouldn't count. That doesn't matter. We're talking about All-Star game. We're talking about the best players, the guys most deserving. Whether or not he's 19 years old or a rookie has nothing to do with that. It's about just what he's produced this year.
And my last thing also would be that, look, he's second right now in votes in the Western Conference.
Fans love him, and they should. He's an exciting player.
If the fans want to see, this is a fan event, the All-Star game. If the fans really want to see Luka Doncic and he's in the conversation, like Derrick Rose had a great year, we don't need to see Derrick Rose.
You don't think the fans want to see Derrick Rose? He's right up there too.
I'm not saying I don't want. I want to see Derrick Rose. I'm saying
the fans.
We don't need to see Derrick Rose in the All-Star game.
Why?
Just like Jeremy
You just
Lin.
made the
Jeremy Lin's in the top 10.
Wait, you can't make the case that the fans wanting to see Luka and that's why he should be included.
No, I'm saying he's more
deserving. But they
deserving.
mentioned Derrick Rose though,
because I think Luka's a real contender. I think Rose, if his name was Joe Thomas, wouldn't be Joe Thomas, offensive lineman, wouldn't be in
first
the
offensive
conversation.
lineman ever. Did you see that meme, by the way?
No, I have not.
There was a meme where a graphic they had all his accolades, and one that said first offensive lineman.
There you go. But
so he's done it all.
So I feel like the fact that the fans really want to see him, and he's a rookie, and he's in a situation where he actually has a real state case statistically, and with his team's success, I would put him in there.
I don't think that his case is as strong as
who you putting in over him.
So I actually have my All-Star roster.
No, EJ got the receipts.
Yeah, so I had to get the receipts. I had to come up with who, because to me, I can't go off a whim and say, I don't know, yeah, he deserves it. I got to say, okay, well, how does this work? Of course, the starters, 2 guards, 3 front court players. So starter that had Curry, Harden, that's obvious.
But the front court player
is more important. So the front court players had Durant, AD, and KD. Obviously, Luka is not ahead of any of those guys. So you go to the bench. My front court players were, and this was by what the starters' rotation was. So I didn't make up guys who were guards and made them forwards or vice versa. I just took whatever the starters were. The starters were. I think you have some leeway when you're voting, where you can make a guy a forward who maybe is a guard. Regardless, my front court players were Jokic, Paul George, and Clint Capela. And then my wild card guys, because my guards were Westbrook and Lillard. Then my wild cards were Tobias Harris and DeMar DeRozan. I don't think he has a case over any of the guys on my list. And that doesn't include Klay Thompson for a wild card spot. It doesn't include C.J. McCollum for a wild card spot. It doesn't include Karl Anthony Towns for a wild card spot or LaMarcus Aldridge. All guys who I would consider, maybe with the exception of McCollum, all those guys I would take over Luka.
Well,
those are all star players. It's not a disrespect. Yeah. Luka has had an incredible season, but a lot of the guys that just named, some of them are going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. For me, Clint Capela ain't on my list.
Why is Clint Capela not on your list?
So he's a nice player. He's done a good job for Houston. Done a great job playing his role for Houston as a role player. But I mean, he's a great.
How you gonna say he's a role player?
He's a great rim protector.
He's a second
He's a
leading
great
scorer.
rim runner. Great. Way behind James Harden.
Okay.
At 32 or whatever he's
But he's averaging like
34
16. He's averaging 16, 17 points. It's not like he's averaging 10. It's not like he's Tyson Chandler on the Knicks.
Right. I mean, look, Capela is great, but he doesn't have the importance that Doncic has on this Mavericks team is higher than Capela's.
I can't agree with that because
the impact Doncic had defensively. Offensively.
But the Rockets have turned. Part of the reason why they've turned it around is because they've figured out a little bit on the defensive end, and he is.
And James Harden
for them.
has gone Super Saiyan. He's gone
right.
Ultra Instinct.
Of course, Harden has gone crazy, but Harden can't do it on his own just on offense. The Houston defense, along with Jeff Bezzelli coming in, has gotten better since, unfortunately, Melo's been out the door. And Clint Capela is kind of like the catalyst for their defense. He's been tremendous on that end. He's also one of the best rebounders in the NBA. I mean, there are aspects of basketball that go beyond just scoring. And I know Luka does all those things too. He's a great assist man. He's a good rebounder for his position. But when you talk about Capela, we say, okay, well, the point numbers aren't that high. But when you consider how he defends the rim, when you consider the way he rebounds the basketball, the way he changes the game,
I mean, he's an anchor.
He's had an all-star season. And when you consider his team,
it's a numbers game, man.
But when you consider his team is one of the three or four best teams in the West. Luka's team is not in the playoff race right now. So I can't. So you got to take that into consideration too. Is I'm also going to reward winning.
He's second fiddle, way behind James Harden. Like James Harden, if James Harden's MVP, what does that say about Clint Capela? If he's the second best player,
I don't think that's a good case. Pau Gasol played next to MVP caliber players, and we didn't say Pau Gasol is not that great because
obviously you got to look at. Nobody's saying he's not that great. I didn't say Clint Capela is not a great player.
But I don't think it speaks.
He's not all-star.
I don't think it speaks less of him that Harden is the MVP. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Well, I'm
talking about him as an individual player and what he's performed, how he's performed.
Because we're looking at his impact on the team's success, and I think his impact on the team's success, while it's been nice, doesn't necessarily equate to Doncic's impact individually with what he's done as a guard, or I guess he's a forward, but as an initiator of the offense for Dallas, playing while Dennis Smith's out, his numbers have been better.
He's a stud. The kid's a great player.
Obviously, the last 2 weeks or something, he's averaging 23, 6, and 6. The numbers are crazy. This guy is. And remember when the NBA season started, in November, who was the story mid-November into the start of December? Who was the story in the world of basketball?
Are you talking about Luka?
Just in general. I think it was Zion Williamson.
Right.
Zion Williamson at Duke, and that whole Duke team was the story of basketball.
Definitely.
Kind of last year for a while, Trae Young was this biggest story in basketball, arguably biggest story in sports. It transitioned as we got into December. Luka Doncic became the biggest story in basketball, where now it's James Harden. James Harden's doing, that by the time this video is recorded.
But at one point, Jeremy Lin was the everyone was
people wanted him in the All-Star game,
and that was ridiculous. And guess what? He didn't make it.
Well, yeah, but
that would have been ridiculous at then. And
but Luka Doncic is
ridiculous in hindsight.
It's not Jeremy Lin. He's got the number 3 pick in the draft.
My point is, just because you're the talk of the
best player on his team.
No, I get that, but that's just because you're the talk of the town doesn't mean you should be an All-Star when there are other.
Remember the people that wanted Jeremy Lin in the All-Star game.
I remember that.
People were like, he may have a shot. He may have a case.
I remember people tried to make the case, and again, it was ridiculous. Right. That's an accentuating circumstance. He didn't play that many games. There's a lot of reasons why him making the All-Star game didn't make any kind of sense. But okay, we disagree on Capela. You don't.
I got him over Harris too.
You can't put him over Tobias Harris.
I like Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris is playing on a better team that doesn't have that much talent, more talent, if they have more talent at all. He has better numbers, better scoring numbers. He's one of the more efficient scorers in the NBA. Luka has not had a better year than Tobias Harris.
I wouldn't put him over Klay Thompson, but,
Are you putting him over DeMar DeRozan? His numbers are not as good as DeMar DeRozan.
The Spurs need somebody, whether it's Aldridge or DeRozan.
You got to put one of them on there.
Yeah, Spurs need.
How are you gonna give the Spurs some guy automatically, but then don't give the Clippers Tobias Harris? Tobias Harris has not played worse than the two guys I just named, Aldridge and DeRozan. The Clippers have been better than the Spurs.
He's been maybe more consistent, but I guess I'm also going by, the trend. DeRozan and Aldridge are starting to play better. The Spurs
I think
as a team
Harris
are starting
hasn't
to play
played.
better.
I think Harris has been steady.
Yeah, he's been more consistent, been more steady, but he hasn't had the monstrous performances that DeRozan and
because these guys know it's All-Star
They
time.
play on national TV. They know it's big time. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah, these guys, these NBA stars know, oh, I need to get myself in the All-Star game. I got to pick it up. And we see Damian Lillard has been the master of January, February explosions because he knows he's trying to make the All-Star game, and the guard position is very tough to crack. It's an interesting discussion. I think the fact that Luka can even play this well to have this discussion shows how great he's been this year.
What do you think of the odds he gets in?
I think he has a good chance.
Right.
I don't think he should get in. I think there are too many other good players. If it was a 15-man roster, I'd say he should get in.
Which, if some people are talking about expanding the roster.
They should not do that. It needs to be the elite
that
of the
alters
elite.
history.
Yeah.
Contracts get affected by that. I'm not high on that.
Guys get bonuses. Guys get signed to certain deals because they make an All-Star game.
I'm a 5-time All-Star.
Yeah.
It's well, it's watered down now.
Yeah, imagine if there was a 15-man roster when Joe Johnson was an All-Star game.
Yeah,
he made like 8 with the 12-man. He would have made like 20
every year. Yeah.
He would have made it every year in the Eastern Conference
exactly.
with his numbers that they did that. So no, we don't need that. But Luka's had a great year. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Look out for my guy Swiper too, De'Aaron Fox.
Fox
get him in the All-Star game.
Swiper Fox had a great year too. I don't know if he's gonna get in, but
give him most improved
he
player.
does deserve some consideration. But anyway, that's our video. Do you think Luka Doncic should make the All-Star game? Give a comment on this video with your thoughts, and of course, like this video. But for Kendall, I'm EJ. See you later.